In this video, we're going to go over how to schedule an event using the Event Wizard in Astra for those who have scheduler access. The first thing you need to do is to access the Astra scheduling application. There are two ways that you can do this. First is to go to the wagner.edu homepage, navigate over to Quick Links, click where it says For Employees, and scroll down until you see Room Reservations. The other way you can access this application is by typing in schedule.wagner.edu into your address bar in your browser. Both ways will bring you to the same login page where you'll enter your username and password, which is the same credentials that you would use for your email address or your All Access Pass. The first thing we're going to do is go over how to add a shortcut to the Event Wizard on your Astra homepage where you can schedule your events. Once you log into the system, navigate to the upper right-hand corner of the center box here and click on the little paper with the pen. From the list here, select Create an Event and press OK. This will add a shortcut to your main page that will take you to the Event Wizard. Now that we have this shortcut added to your homepage, let's go ahead and click on Create an Event. You will automatically be taken to the Event Wizard where you can begin to enter in your information. There are 5 steps in this process as laid out here at the top with these tabs. The first step is to enter in the event information. We're going to use the example of a Christmas craft fair for this tutorial to show you how this works. Here in Event Name, I'm going to type Christmas Craft Fair. The next option here is the event type. Pick the closest thing to your event from the drop-down menu. In my case, the closest possible thing would be a meeting. The description here is extremely important if you're planning on publicizing this event on the wagner.edu calendar. I'm going to choose to do this just to give you an example. I'm going to paste some previously written text into this box in the interest of time. Come over here to the right and view where it says Customer. The difference between the customer and the customer contact is that the customer is the group affiliated with the event. The customer contact is the person or people associated with the group that is the contact for this event. We're just going to choose the customer as information technology, and the customer contact automatically shows up as myself. If the contact that you need is not showing up, you can contact Lifelong Learning and request the addition of that contact or customer. Now once you're done entering that info, select the Meetings tab to move on to Step 2. In this section, you will enter the specific information about your event, including the date, the time, etc. Keep in mind that your event can consist of one meeting, which would be the event itself, or it can include multiple occurrences. For example, an event may have a setup time, a breakdown time, and the event itself. If you're publicizing it on the wagner.edu calendar, this would be 3 separate meetings, all included in one event. Your event can also be recurring, which means it will meet more than once. You'll want to fill in the meeting type here, which in this case the closest thing would be a meeting. You can fill in multiple meetings that are a part of this event as you go along. In this case, as an example, we're going to book the event, and since we are publishing it on the Wagner calendar, we're going to make a separate setup and breakdown time later on. Head on down to Meeting Recurrence. This is where you'll pick the date, the time, and how often your event will be happening. You have 3 options here. One is a single meeting, which is for events that will only meet one time and then be completed. The second is for a recurring meeting, which is for events that will occur more than once in a designated block of time. In an example that reflects classroom usage, you might use this if you're booking a weekly rehearsal or practice. The last option is spanning, which is for events that span over a longer period of time. For this example, we're going to choose to do a single meeting for our Christmas craft fair. Let's choose a start time of 9 a.m. and an end time of 5 p.m. And for the date, we'll go a little bit closer to Christmas, and let's choose December 19th. Press Create. You'll notice that the event will show up here on the right-hand side under Meetings. Now, it's important to remember, as I said before, that if you're going to choose to display this event on the Wagner calendar, you have to make the setup and breakdown times separate meetings within this event if your event requires a setup or a breakdown time. If you're creating an event that you're not including on the calendar, you can make the setup and breakdown times a part of the event. So for example, if we weren't putting this event on the calendar, we could have made the event from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., since that would have incorporated an hour before and after for setup and breakdown. So let's go back and change the meeting name to Setup, and then the meeting type to Event Setup. Now let's go back down to the bottom. We'll keep the date selected as the 19th. And let's choose a start time of 8 a.m. since that's an hour before the fair is set to begin. And let's choose an end time of 9 a.m. since that's the time that everybody needs to be out after setting it up. Once you're set, press Create. And now let's go back one more time and create the breakdown meeting. Once we type the name in Meeting Name, under Meeting Type, let's choose Event Breakdown. The same date is selected, and let's choose a start time of 5 p.m. since that's when the event is over, until 6 p.m. And then once you're happy with that, go ahead and press Create. Now we have 3 separate event meetings within this event, just so you can see what it looks like. If this event were going to occur 2 weeks in a row, we could use a recurring event as well. Let's say that the Christmas craft fair was going to be held 2 Saturdays in a row. What we would do is click on the Recurring tab, choose a start and end time, which in this case would be 9 to 5, if the fair is on the same time each week. So it is in this case, so we'll do 9 to 5. And then since it's going to be 1 week after the other, we'll choose weekly, which means we want it to reoccur every 1 week on Saturday. So we click the little S for Saturday, and then we choose a date range that we want this meeting to occur on. So the start date would be December 19th, and the week after that would be December 26th. Once you set your parameters for your recurring event, you would then just press Create, and then it would be over in the Meetings section along with these 3. I just wanted to give you a quick example of what you would use the Recurring Meeting tab for. Let's go back to our previous event that we were planning. Okay, so we have our setup and breakdown times here on the right, along with the event itself. Now we need to request a particular room for this event. We're going to go up to the top tab here, number 3, and click on Rooms. The rooms that pop up are the suggested rooms for this request based on the specifications that you entered prior. You can also filter the rooms depending on if you're looking for something in particular. You can search by room type or building, amongst other things as well. If I want to search by building, I can do so by clicking here. So let's say we want to put this in the Hall of Fame room. So I'm going to click on the gym, and let's say I want to select a particular room, and in this case, let's click on Hall of Fame room and then press search. You'll see the room will come up, and it tells me that at all 3 of my meeting times the room is available. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click this room for each of them. And now it's time to move on to the next step once you've selected your room, which is step 4, and that's resources. This is actually something that we're not using yet, so you can simply skip over it and go on to step 5. Now this is where you're going to put the finishing touches on your event. Once you've double checked all of your details here, so you look at everything here, scroll down, look at your meetings time, you'll see that the gym Hall of Fame room has been selected from our previous step here. Once you've double checked everything, you can press finish here at the top. It's just going to go through the regular saving process that it goes through. Now, if you want to see where this event appears on the calendar, we would head over here to the top where it says Calendars and click on Scheduling Grids. Before you look for anything else, the first thing you want to do is choose here at the top from the drop-down menu Full Calendar, because this is going to give you everything on campus. You can look at a particular day or a particular week by selecting day or week up here, and you can also select the date you want by clicking on the little calendar here, and that'll come up and you select the one you want and press the little green refresh button here, and that will update the results. You can also filter to a particular building if you don't want to scroll through everything that's there. To set a particular filter, select the little magnifying glass here on the left-hand side, and now you'll see something very familiar like in the step before, and you can filter exactly what rooms you want to see. So we know the date that we like for our we wanted for our Christmas craft fair. So let's just search that just so we can see what it looks like. So click on the building, click on gym, click on the Hall of Fame room, and here up in date, go to December 19th and click Update Results. We can see that the room has been booked on that date, and it's actually by our Christmas craft fair that has already been scheduled. Notice that I can move the setup time to the left if I want to move it earlier. I can also do, if I scroll over a little bit here, I'm just going to say no for now because I don't want to move anything, but I can move the breakdown time or extend it to 5 to 7 p.m. if I feel I need more time. So I'm just going to say yes, I want to change the event and that time. So now I can make changes directly on my calendar. If we didn't search by a particular room and we had other rooms to choose from, I could also drag down my event up or down depending on a room that I'd like to change it to. So there's a lot of things you can do on the calendar. We're actually going to go over it in another video, how to make quick events. But this video is specifically for the Event Wizard, so we're going to keep it at that just for now. Now, if you want to add your event to the wagner.edu calendar, you need to hover over the event. So I'm going to go back a little. And you're going to hover over it, and you want to click View Event Details. Once you're in here, you want to go ahead and click Edit, and click on the little pencil here next to Christmas Craft Fair. And now you're able to choose whether or not you want to publish it on the Wagner calendar. So we're going to say yes, and we'll just do that this is for student events, and a web organizer will be my department with information technology. Obviously that information is going to differ depending on who's making the request. Once you are happy with that, you go ahead and you press save, and that will put the information in to be added to the Wagner calendar. You can also edit other particulars of this event in this screen as well. If you went back to meetings and you select a Christmas craft fair, there's a bunch of things that you might have the ability to do depending on your access. You might be able to reassign a room, drop a room, and depending on your privileges, again, delete an event. It really all depends on what kind of access that you have. If you like, you can choose to send the event summary here at the top. You could put a subject and a comment and see who it's going to go to the main customer contact, and press OK, and that'll send them an email that will give them the event summary of this particular event. In the next video, we're going to discuss what a quick event is and how to go about creating one in Astra. This concludes the tutorial on using the Event Wizard to request an event as a scheduler.